Have you ever stopped and thought about how remarkable it is to reach the age of 70? Many people spend their younger years worrying about the future, rushing from one responsibility to another, believing that happiness is always somewhere ahead. But when you reach this stage of life, you begin to understand something different. You realize that success is not measured by how busy you are, how much you own, or how many achievements you can list. The true measure of a good life is often found in the small things that bring peace, purpose, and contentment. And here's something encouraging. If you are over 70 and can still do these six simple things, you are doing far better than you may realize. In fact, these habits and abilities reveal a kind of success that cannot be bought, taught, or rushed. They are signs that your spirit remains strong, your heart remains open, and your life continues to hold meaning every single day. So let's take a moment to appreciate what truly matters. As we go through these six signs, see how many describe your own life. You may discover that you have more reasons to feel proud than you thought. Number one, you still look forward to learning something new. One of the greatest signs that a person is thriving after 70 is the ability to remain interested in life. Curiosity is often associated with children, but in reality, it is one of the most valuable qualities at any age. Maybe you enjoy reading articles about topics you've never explored before. Perhaps you like watching documentaries, trying a new recipe, learning a new hobby, or asking questions about how things work. You don't have to become an expert. You don't have to memorize facts or master technology. The important thing is that you still have the desire to learn. When you stay curious, your world continues to expand. Every new piece of knowledge becomes a reminder that life still has something to offer. Many people assume that growth belongs only to the young, but some of the wisest and happiest older adults continue learning throughout their lives. They understand that learning is not about age, it's about attitude. Think about the last time you learned something that surprised you. Maybe it was a simple fact, a new skill, or a different way of seeing the world. If you can still experience that feeling of discovery, you are already winning. Number two, you continue taking care of everyday responsibilities. The second sign is something that often goes unnoticed. It is your ability to handle the ordinary tasks of daily life. Making breakfast, tidying your living space, watering plants, managing appointments, taking care of personal responsibilities. These activities may seem small, but they carry great meaning. Every time you complete a task on your own, you strengthen your confidence. You remind yourself that you are capable. You maintain a sense of purpose. Of course, everyone needs help sometimes. There is no weakness in accepting support when necessary, but continuing to do what you can, even in small ways, helps preserve independence and self-respect. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is participation. It's waking up each day and remaining involved in your own life. Many people discover that some of their greatest satisfaction comes not from major accomplishments, but from knowing they can still contribute, create, and care for themselves. What's one daily activity that still gives you a sense of accomplishment? It might seem ordinary to others, but it could mean the world to you. Number three, you make time for meaningful relationships. Life has a way of teaching us what truly matters. As the years pass, many people discover that relationships become more valuable than possessions. The conversations, the shared memories, the laughter, the support, these are the treasures that remain important. One of the strongest signs that you're thriving after 70 is your ability to stay connected with people who matter to you. You don't need dozens of friends. You don't need a packed social calendar. A few meaningful relationships can bring enormous comfort and joy. Maybe you call a longtime friend every week. Maybe you spend time with family members. Maybe you enjoy talking with neighbors, attending community gatherings, or simply sharing stories with people who understand your journey. Human connection nourishes the heart. It reminds us that we are not walking through life alone, and sometimes a single conversation can brighten an entire day. If there is someone you haven't spoken to in a while, consider reaching out. You may discover that the connection means just as much to them as it does to you. Number four, you still find joy in simple everyday moments. As life becomes quieter with age, something interesting often happens. The small things begin to matter more than the big ones. A peaceful morning, a warm drink in your hands, the sound of birds outside your window. sunlight coming through the curtains, a familiar voice on the phone. These moments may seem ordinary, but they carry a deep sense of comfort when you take the time to notice them. One of the clearest signs that you are living well after 70 is your ability to still feel appreciation for these simple experiences. You don't need constant excitement or major events to feel fulfilled. You are able to pause and recognize that everyday life itself has value. This kind of awareness brings a quiet form of happiness, not the loud kind that depends on external success, but the steady kind that comes from within. Many people spend years chasing happiness without realizing that it often appears in the most ordinary places. A calm morning, a gentle conversation, a moment of silence where everything feels okay. If you can still notice and appreciate these moments, you are already living with a strong sense of inner peace. Number 5, you continue caring for your health in a gentle, consistent way. Another important sign of living well at this stage is how you relate to your physical well-being. This is not about strict routines or perfection. It is about awareness and respect for your body. Maybe you take regular walks when you feel able. Maybe you choose nourishing meals that make you feel comfortable and energized. Maybe you make sure to rest when your body asks for it. Maybe you keep up with simple daily habits that help you feel balanced. These small choices matter more than they may appear. They reflect self-respect. They show that you are still invested in your own well-being and quality of life. Your body has carried you through many years of experiences, challenges, and memories. Taking care of it is a way of honoring that journey. It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simplest habits are often the most effective. Listening to your body, moving when it feels right, resting when needed, choosing what helps you feel steady and comfortable. When you approach health with patience rather than pressure, you create a more sustainable and peaceful way of living. Number 6, you live with gratitude and emotional peace. Perhaps the most powerful sign of all is the ability to live with gratitude, not just occasionally, but as a natural part of your mindset. Gratitude changes how you see your life. It doesn't remove challenges, but it helps you view them with more acceptance and calmness. Instead of focusing on what is missing, you begin to notice what is still present. Instead of comparing your journey to others, you start valuing your own path. You recognize that every stage of life has its own meaning. There is something deeply freeing about reaching a point where you no longer feel the need to prove anything. You can simply exist as you are. You can appreciate the people around you. You can find peace in your daily rhythm. You can wake up and feel thankful for another day, even if it is simple and quiet. This kind of gratitude is not loud. It is steady. It grows over time, and it becomes one of the strongest sources of emotional stability. Closing reflection. Life after 70 is not about chasing speed, success, or constant activity. It is about presence. It is about meaning. It is about learning to live in a way that feels honest and peaceful to you. If you can still recognize yourself in these 6 signs, then you already carry something very valuable: a calm mind, a steady heart, and a life that still holds purpose in its simplest form. You are not behind. You are not late. You are simply in a different, quieter, and often wiser chapter of life. Take a moment to appreciate that. And if this message resonated with you, you might consider reflecting on which of these signs feels strongest in your own life. Sometimes we are doing better than we give ourselves credit for. Thank you for spending this time here today.